The balance of light and darkness has been a long, thought-provoking philosophy throughout the history of mankind. It shows up in our popular culture, like in Star Wars, with the light and dark sides of the Force, and it often shows up in every form of spirituality and religious path out there. And so it's something that I have always been intrigued by and wanted to understand better, both in my own personal practice, as well as its use in popular culture, media, and art. And that is why today we are going to dive into the Lily White and the Lily Black. Hey Tarot Tribe, it's Dustin from A Modern Metaphysic Man, and today I thought we could hang out and take a trip through the Lily White and the Lily Black Tarot by Célia Melesville. I'm pretty sure that's not how you say that, so I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Both of these decks are beautiful decks created by a French artist and illustrator who creates just some really stunning, breathtaking artwork, and I'm super excited to have these in my collection. These decks definitely were a little bit of a challenge to get. One, because the time it took, I ordered these just before Christmas, I believe on the 18th of December, and they took some time to get here. I got them after Christmas. And then, unfortunately, one of the cards in the Lily White came damaged from the factory. And Célia was really great about it. I emailed her, she sent me a replacement card, and unfortunately the replacement card, the original card was damaged on the back. The replacement that she sent had a mark on the front. So I emailed her back saying that I had received the replacement card, which took about a month to get to me because the mail being what it is. And she was apologetic again, but asked that I return that card before she sent another, which was a little frustrating. But I eventually did get it. I sent it back to her, and she did send me another card, which arrived in perfect condition and completed the Lily White deck, so that it is ready to use. So I ordered it around the 18th of December, and it wasn't until the end of February that I got it all back in a state of usability, which is okay. And Célia was really nice about it and apologetic, and she was really nice in all of her emails, and I appreciate all the hard work that she did that she put into getting me the replacement cards and making sure that she stood by her product, which was really good. That's exactly what an independent deck creator should do. It's what every deck creator, independent or not, should do. And so, a big shout out to her for doing that and being really awesome about it. So yeah, let's dive into these. Well, actually, before we dive into them, I did want to mention there is an additional guidebook that Célia offers on her website. She has several different packages that you can purchase the decks through, so you can get each deck independently and the book independently, or you can buy the decks together, or you can buy all three together. I did the package with all three. I did think that the guidebook would be in French and English because the title was in English. However, the guidebook is only in French, which was a little disappointing, but totally understandable. And the guidebook is really well written. It's in full color. It's very well produced. Shows both the black and the white versions of the cards. And luckily I studied 5 years of French in school, so although my grammar and my ability to speak are not as great as they used to be, I can still read it fairly well. So it wasn't a huge issue for me, but just something to be aware of. If you are looking to get the additional guidebook, just be aware it is completely in French. There is no English in it. The decks themselves come in these really beautiful boxes. The boxes have a foil stamp on them. They are really sturdy boxes. Very well put together. The sides just have the continued foil design, and the backs are mirror copies of each other with that are signed and numbered by the artist, which is really wonderful. So I have number 697 of the black and number 608 of the white. So let's dive into these. The insides of the boxes are blank, so there's nothing to see there. And both boxes do have a ribbon. The white Lily White has a white ribbon. The Lily Black has a black ribbon. So yeah, let's check these out. Now both decks do come with a little fold-out pamphlet that have the card meanings written, as you can tell, in very simple, keywords, and it's written in both French and English, so that's a great inclusion if you are newer and want some more information. The cards themselves are beautifully printed, exceptionally good quality. Like I said, I did have a flaw in the Lily White. Basically, it looked like the foil stamping process didn't get completed on the very last card, and the lamination on the bottom was peeling up. But she took care of me, and she got me the replacement, which was really wonderful. So the backs both have the same design. It's a little bright there, but as you can see, they both have that same metallic gold stamp design that is reversible. The cardstock on both is the same. It's a very nice, thick cardstock with a matte sort of lamination and finish on it, which is great. The black deck is edged in black, which is really nice, and the white deck doesn't have any edging at all. It is just your standard print edge. So yeah, let's take a look at the cards. So I'm gonna do these both side by side because I like looking at them together. I think these decks are beautiful and should they complement each other so well, and they are great sort of reflections of one another. As you can see, both pieces are very similar, but they're redrawn and they use different media, right? So the Lily White has much more of a watercolor feeling, and the Lily Black has much more of a pastel and chalk feeling, which I love both of them. It's really hard for me to pick one over the other, and they're both really exceptionally well done, and the artwork is just amazing. And as you can see right away with the full card, we are in a non-traditional deck. So this does not follow the standard Rider-Waite-Smith or Marseille imagery, or even Thoth for that matter. So this is very much its own thing. It's very modern and it's beautiful, and it does harken to traditional, tarot imagery, right? We have the cliff, but we have this tree who is the fool in this case, but we're still on a cliff overlooking, clouds and that whole sort of traditional aspect of it. So it is a modern take on the tarot, which I really appreciate, and it's a beautiful modern take on the tarot. So let's dive into these cards. So we have our Fool and our Magician. I love this Magician, and I love that the hands have the tattoos of the symbol, the suit symbols. Our High Priestess, our Empress, our Emperor, our Hierophant, our Lovers, Chariot. We have Justice in at position 8. Hermit. Wheel of Fortune. Strength. I love the Strength card. I love that her hat still has that infinity symbol quality to it, and I adore the lion in this card because he's playing, right? It has this almost kitten quality to it, and I really love that and appreciate it. We have our Hanged Man here, and I love in the black. Actually, I didn't notice it in the white because the the watercolor quality of the halo didn't stand out to me, and I didn't notice it until I saw the black version. And I love it. It's so different. So death. And the cards are just stunning. And as you can tell, there are copyrights here in the bottom corner, which is not my favorite thing, but it's okay. The images are borderless and beautiful. I adore these cards. The tower card. This tower card is it's so unique and it's so different. You know, the idea of the broken antler horns and things like that. It's just it's powerful and it's meaningful and it's different and it's unique, which I really like. Beautiful star card. I adore this moon card so much, and I love the symbolism of the dog. So in reality, right, we have the domesticated human here with the domestic dog face on the head, and in the reflection we have the wild side, right, the undomesticated, right, which is something that you traditionally get in the moon card, but this take on it takes it to a whole new level, which I love. We have our sun card with no creepy babies, thank you. A butterfly for our judgment, which is just a beautiful. I love the movement you get in this one. They're beautiful. And then we have the world, which the depiction of this card is just the symbolism that it's full of. You know, you have the koi at the bottom and the roots of the tree, the hands, the lotuses, the butterflies, the five-pointed star, the tree, which really has this evocative tree of life aspect to it, the infinity symbol, everything. It's classical and it's modern and it's great. Then we get into our minors. So we have the suit of pentacles, and I adore this ace of pentacles, where that pentacle is literally a seed. Number 2. And our 3. And as you can see from these already, they are much more pippish. There is some inclusion of symbols and imagery, but they're not as scenic as the traditional RWS, but they're not as pippish as, of course, a Marseille deck. So 5 and 6, 7. I love this 8 of pentacles with the bee and the hive and how the pentacles fit into the comb of the hive. 9, and I love the inclusion of the falcon, which is a traditional RWS, and the fact that the pentacles are now flowers, which we see a garden in the traditional tarot. So, you know, there are a lot of nods to classic imagery, but she's definitely made it her own and modernized it, which is wonderful. And 10. And then we have our court. So we have our page here. And there's not really any names to this. You know, it could be page, could be princess, could be whatever. There's no sort of like titles given. So we just very much have the standard 4-person court. With the inclusion of the elemental symbol, which is great. So we have Earth represented there. And the elemental symbol appears on all of them. So our knight, our queen, and our king, which is just great. I love that the symbol is in his crown. Then we have our swords, element of air. Very much of an, again, you still have that sense of the crown, even with the sort of smoky air treatment that is done around it, which is wonderful. Our Two of Swords, which you have a blindfolded bird on the ocean. Three of Swords, beautiful Three of Swords. 4 and 5, 6 and 7. The artwork is just some of my favorite artwork when it comes to non-traditional modernized decks. This is definitely rapidly rose to the top as one of my favorites. I simply adore her artwork. Love this Ten of Swords. Then we have our court, so our page, our knight, queen, and king. We have our cups. And as you can see, the suit is indicated at the top, and she does give a numeric value, which is nice. But, you know, I don't even think I would need it. The imagery is very clear. You know, there are 3 cups. 4 of cups, and I love this one, I guess, you know, could be a little confusing because you do have 2, but the reflection of those cups gives you, you know, the 4, which is great. 5 of cups and 6, where they're all stacked together. It was a really cool take. There's 7 and 8, and our 9 of cups. This is the Wish Come True card, and our 10, which I love how she connected the 10 of cups to the Ace of Cups, right? So let's see if I can grab the ace really quickly. So you still get that sort of, a similar feeling, right? That the 10 of cups, you know, and the Ace of Cups are so intertwined. I loved that. I loved that connection. And then we have our court. Queen and king. I love it. And then we have our wands. So we have our Ace of Wands, 2 and 3, 4 and 5. And I love the foxes in the wand suit. That's great. 7 of Wands. 8. I love this 8 of Wands. You still get that sense of movement, right? With the bolt of lightning and how the fox is leaping. Our 9 of Wands. And our 10. Poor little guy. And then we have our court. Beautiful queen. I love that Queen of Wands. And then our king. So yeah, those are the Lily White and Lily Black. I absolutely love these cards, and I'm so happy that Célia was able to get me the replacement card, which was actually this card right here. I'm very thankful for that. She was incredibly patient and incredibly polite. It took a lot longer than I had wanted, but you know, given that she's in France, it's understandable. So yeah, let me know what you think about these decks in the comments below. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. These are definitely 2 of my favorite decks that I have gotten this year. And you know, I'm really looking forward to diving in deep with these and using these in my daily practices. So yeah, let me know what you think. As always, remember all of the information on how you can get in touch with me, how you can book a personal reading, and where you can get the decks that I have walked through today can be found in the description below, so be sure to check that out. And remember, everyone is fighting a battle that you know nothing about, so be kind, always. Bye, everybody.